So I wanted to ask you, Cece, do you think when you know, you know? Do you know what I mean? Like, if you meet someone, is it just like a knowing feeling? Have you ever had that?
So I think I know every time, but every time I've got it wrong.
Oh.
So I guess the answer is no. And maybe I can ask you, because obviously you're the one in the long relationship. So do you think you knew?
Yeah, I do think with Wayne I did know. I mean, over a period of time. Like, I don't feel like... Obviously, I instantly felt comfortable with him because we'd met a week later. I went and stayed with him in Manchester and didn't come back for weeks. Like,
oh, wow.
Yeah, it was pretty quick.
Oh.
And I think, so I knew I felt comfortable, but it's not to say that it was perfect, but I found he was the first person that there were things that I was like, one, willing to work on, or like two, that things that maybe would have put me off before, but they didn't this time.
Yeah.
So that's why I always think things like icks and things like that, I always think it just means you're not with the right person.
So at what point did you think, or was it as like actual obvious as that, as you went, oh wow, shit, this is my person? Or was it just like over time you're like, yes, okay, now we're in?
Yeah, I think it was over time. I think it was pretty quickly, but I do think it was over a period of time where I was like, oh, okay, like maybe this one's the person because XYZ isn't bothering me.
Right, because it used to. And now,
yeah.
Interesting.
Do you know what I mean? So I think, you know, when like if a friend says to me, oh, you know, he just texts back too quickly and, you know, I don't like it. I'm like, but that's because he's not your person.
Yeah.
Like, even if it's your person for right now, like, I don't think then there's someone you want around, because I think those things, you want them to text back fast, or you want them to say you look pretty, or do you know what I mean? Those things.
Yes, I totally do.
I think they don't bother you if you like them.
Well, I cannot wait to not find an ick, because trust me, the person walks into a room and I'm like, here it is, it's walked in.
You know, like if you were out with someone and you were really enjoying the date, would you like cut it off because you're like, no, this is the first date and I'm going to set boundaries and I don't want to seem too keen, or would you just go with it? And
no, but I'm always aware that, so I try and give like, you know, if someone says you free on Saturday or Saturday evening, or no, say Saturday lunchtime, I would generally just sort of like give the sort of afternoon/evening off in case it went well. So I'm sort of open to it going well, but then you also don't want to come across as a bit like keen,
like you've got nothing else to do.
Yeah, like I've got the whole weekend free and next week if you're available. Like do you know what I mean? Like there's like a weird thing, and I think I try and play this out. And the reason I say that is because I actually had a conversation with someone very recently. I thought I was quite cool on dates, and my friend saw me on a date and she was like, fucking hell, you're into that guy. And I was like, no, I wasn't. I was like, I definitely was. She was like, you were way more into him than he was into you.
Oh no.
And I genuinely thought I had it, you know, and you're like, he likes me. Even went to the toilet, said it in the mirror to myself, he likes me. Apparently not. So I think I'm just, I think how I think I present myself is not. So maybe I should try and have shorter dates and not let them drag on, so that I appear more cool.
No, I don't agree. I think you just got to be yourself. Have you ever had a really long date?
Yeah, I used to have like 14-hour dates. Like we'd just drink, then eat, then drink, then just party, and then
really?
Yeah. And it was interesting because all those dates went really well. Nothing ever happened at the end. We'd always see each other again, but the longer the date, the more we got to know each other. But it was weird that nothing ever happened. Whereas the shorter dates, we'd be like snogging in a corner somewhere.
Yeah, I think my first date with Wayne, we went for dinner and we stayed until the restaurant closed and we had to be asked to leave because we were just chatting and drinking and whatever. So
Now that is great.
Yeah.
That is a
nice
sign.
vibe, isn't it?
And then you say the week later
a week later I went to Manchester because he was living in Manchester, stayed with him for like 3 weeks till I had to go back to work. So
oh my God.
Keen bean over here, mate. If I like you, I'm not messing about.
You weren't sick of each other. You weren't like, ugh, like
no.
Oh, okay. So that's why you got married.
Would you ever have a tattoo of someone or for someone? Have you got any tattoos?
I've got 3 disgusting tattoos, yeah.
Oh, do you regret them all?
I don't regret them because I think that was where I was at. But they are not sexy. Like there's one on my boob that used to be
on your boob.
Used to be a mole. I then tried to cover it up with a star, a pink star, not realising that when the star heals, obviously the mole comes back through. So I've now got like a splodge of a shit mole, a really shit star that's now faded and a little bit green. And it's just not the one. It's really not the one.
It really doesn't sound like the one.
No, if you've got any tattoos, let's just move on.
Yeah, I haven't got one on my boob. I've got one.
You got one on your boob as well?
No, I haven't.
Oh.
On my chest, on my ribs. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm covered up. I haven't seen any of those.
I know, yeah, I'll show you later.
Are they regretful or are they like...
No, I don't regret them. There's some that I don't really like as much anymore, but I think they are a memory of a moment in time.
I like that.
Yeah. Speaking of tattoos.
Speaking of tats, our guests. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. How are you doing?
Very good, thank you.
So we have got, remind us your names. We've got the lovely
Esteban.
Esteban.
Yeah,
Sarah.
Sarah.
Esteban and Sarah. And how are you both doing today?
very good.
I'm seeing a lot of tattoos going on here, like
Yeah.
arms, legs, and everything.
Yeah, fingers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So who's the artist then? One of you's clearly got to be...
That's definitely not me.
Right, so that's your job. You're
Yeah, I'm a tattoo artist.
very nice.
Thank you.
Do you have like a
cool.
specific niche with it? Do you do delicate tattoos? Do you do like anything that anyone asks
I
for?
like to experiment with different things, but my main style it could be like realism and big tattoos.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Do you have any boundaries? Are you like, I'm not doing that?
Butterflies.
but well,
Butterflies?
I wouldn't say
Why?
butterflies.
Because you don't like them or you can't do them?
It's because everyone get them, but I think everyone has a different meaning for their own tattoos, and mostly with butterflies. But it's a really common tattoo to get.
Yeah.
So there is so many
Is
people
it
now.
as common as a star on your wrist, though?
Or on your boob?
Or on your boob. On a mole.
Actually, like stars are not that common nowadays.
No?
No, and it comes with butterflies, but it depends. Like I don't judge any tattoo. I just do
Prefer
them,
not to
making
do.
it special.
Well, we always ask our guests 2 questions at the top of the podcast.
Yeah.
And we want to know if you've got any like specific icks. So, Sarah, do you want to go first?
Oh, I feel like they have. I can see it.
Any icks between us, or like?
It could be between the 2 of you. If you
Yeah,
want,
go
we can
on,
go
go.
there.
Putting your wet towel on the bed.
Oh! Yes,
Such a
okay.
good one.
Yeah, that is really
That's a good
annoying.
one, right? It's like,
Such a mad thing to do.
there's a hanger, right?
Yeah, and it makes the bed damp.
Yeah.
Yes.
Another one would probably be, there was a date that I went on, obviously before you. The guy kept his bike helmet on the entire
No.
date. Yeah.
What?
Just like while we were sitting there. So I think that's an
Was
ick.
it strapped up or was it just
No, it was like
undone?
unstrapped, just like on his head, ready to go when he had
Where
to go.
were you?
Uh,
Like at a restaurant or
at
like
a restaurant, but like outside of the restaurant.
That's
Was
so
he like
weird.
a delivery driver or something? And
No.
he just... What, did he think he looked cool? Was he like maybe
Coffee?
that
Were
was
just
his
scared
image?
of losing it.
Maybe scared of losing it, or maybe he
He
was
didn't
just
have
like,
hair.
oh, if it goes bad, I could just run off.
That is
I was when he
weird.
ran off.
That's just so weird. I'm sorry. I'd be like, are you going to take that off?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's-
Did you not ask him? It's a bit like, if someone keeps their coat on, you're like,
yeah. You're like, you
gonna- yeah.
Yeah, like why don't you get comfortable?
Yeah,
Sit,
because then you feel on edge as well. You're sort of like replicating what they're doing.
Yeah, then it just gets really awkward, and the date I think lasts 30 minutes anyway. 'cause I was
Okay,
like,
cool.
"Ooh."
Yeah.
There we go.
I don't
Helmet
blame you.
man out the window.
you.
What about you? What are your icks?
Not able to dance, I think. Like
Yeah.
it gives
We've
me the
had
icks
that,
as
haven't
well.
we?
I
Did
think
someone
it's a
say
very
that? Yeah.
culture thing for us. Well, at least for me though.
Because he's Colombian and I'm Colombian and Costa Rican, so we'll get
quite
into
a
it
big-
later.
yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. If you don't have rhythm, that's
But so if you say it's a big like part of your culture, so then like are you just like naturally gifted then, would you say? That because you guys are dancing
You
from
grow
like
up around it.
Yeah.
So you...
I don't think it's a natural gift. It's like it's part of the culture, and when you grow up in this type of culture, like it's like input in your life, right? Our family, our moms, granddad listen this type of music. They do gathering and dancing together. So it's kind of like you don't need to be perfect at dancing, but at least you need to know how
Yeah.
to dance.
Mm.
and
Yeah.
knowing the classic songs, like the
Yeah.
classic Colombian songs. Ooh, That was
Okay.
a tick box tick
Oh,
for
so that's a
me.
green flag for you.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
That was one of my first thing. Like the person I'm dating, you need to dance, need to know how to dance at least, because always on my first day I like to go for a dance and kind of like taste these
Yeah.
type of
Oh my God.
areas.
Would you feel pressured if someone said, do you want to go for a dance on a first date?
Oh, 100%. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd have to be a few roses in.
Yes,
Yeah, like
definitely.
proper dancing as well.
Yeah,
like proper,
Yeah,
proper.
I've
Proper
always wanted to
dancing.
go to like a salsa club and stuff, but I'm just too
Mm.
scared.
Oh, come along.
I
with
know,
us.
I'm right. I've always wanted to.
Fun around.
Tell us how you met, where you were both at in your lives. Make it juicy.
So his Hinge profile actually said like, you have to know how to dance. And
Oh,
I
really?
That was my first
that was
requirement.
like the first thing. And I looked at him, I was like, oh God, here's another Colombian guy, like blah, blah, blah. And then we just started chit-chatting on Hinge.
Yeah,
and
our first conversation, it was right away. She was like, do you want to meet? And so I was busy, so I had to reply later on that day. So I was like, no, unfortunately, I kind of, but like, it was really straightforward. So I was like, wow, like, I'm free on this date if you want. And then like, we had the whole week at least to like talk and
Yeah.
have a conversation.
So would you have preferred more chat in between?
A little bit. I'm not really
Just a warm-up,
Yeah,
maybe.
just a warm up.
Just a
Of what you
hi
expect
would
to,
have been
right?
really
Like-
good. Hi.
I was like, hey, I can dance. Should we meet up?
Also, one of the things is was she didn't have no Instagram, social media. So you,
Oh,
like,
wow.
I've been through catfishes before.
Yeah.
So
Same.
I was kind of like expecting another one. Like
Right.
it was good. Like conversation, it was very good and stuff. Like I even called her during the week as well. I given a call just to
Okay.
make sure I'm not speaking to another person or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. And how was that conversation? Did it just, because I find that quite awkward. I think, oh no, don't call me. I don't know you. But like, did it just
Right.
flow?
Yeah.
Yeah. He called me and I was like, oh God, panic for a bit. Told
Yeah.
my housemate, oh my God, this guy's calling me. I answered and I was like, hi. And he was taking out his housemate's dog, and I could hear like him talking to the dog, but then trying to talk to me. And I was like, you know what? Why don't we talk when you're done?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, call me back later. And then after that, we were texting here and there, but I'm really bad on my phone. I'll see a message and I'm like, okay, I'll respond in a bit. Then I get distracted, do
Mhm.
something else. So I think he thought I was purposely ignoring him.
Did
after
you?
that.
I honestly did. I thought it was not gonna happen.
Ah.
So usually in these type of apps, like sometimes like some people have too many conversations at the same time. I'm
Yes.
trying to like meet with that. So like probably one conversation like interests you more than another, and then you make a plan with someone, and at the end it doesn't happen. So I thought it was gonna be one of those ones. So like everything was going so well until she stopped replying. It was for a day at least, but like from my perspective, I felt like it was not gonna happen anymore. So I
Yeah.
thought it was like, oh, maybe she lost the interest, or maybe she's finding another person, or whatever. So yeah,
So when did you get back in touch then and decide, right, okay, we're gonna...
So on the day of the date, I messaged him and I was like, can we meet at 7 instead of 6? And then he said to me, oh, we're still meeting?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You. Trying to play it cool.
That was my reaction too. And I said, yes, we made plans on the Monday.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're gonna meet. And he's like, oh, well, you weren't replying, so I thought you lost interest.
I love it.
Did you just want a bit of attention? Did you just want
No,
a bit
I was like,
of fuss?
I literally made other plans on that day.
Did you?
Yeah, I honestly thought it was not gonna happen.
I
though.
get it though, because if you
Like,
don't know each other
yeah.
and you've not like, there's no solid, like, I know you've made plans and in like someone else's head, they're like, we've made plans, so it's going to happen. I think I'd be a bit like you. I'd be like, okay, well, all of a sudden now I'm not hearing from them. Maybe it's not going to happen. Then they're like on the day being like, hi, what time are we going?
Yeah, true. Yeah, actually, I do get it. Yeah.
It was already like at the first we had these great conversations, and everything was fluent, and all of a sudden it stops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a
Yeah, so
day
you're
or day
thinking,
and a
oh,
half, so you start thinking like maybe it's not gonna happen, right? So I said I didn't have nothing else. I didn't like feel like it was gonna happen, so I just start making another plan, just I didn't expect it.
So
to be
did you
honest.
cancel your other plans?
Of course.
Oh, we
Of
can see what
course.
you're like.
And when you first saw each other, what was like your initial reaction?
I mean, because in her Hinge profile, you cannot really see her much. So I was a little bit confused because when I saw her, she was actually stunning, right? Like,
Yeah.
Oh.
but when I saw her in Hinge, she was a little bit different, like it wasn't really, when I saw her, it was like, wow, really, she's really beautiful though. That was my first impression, to be honest.
What did you think?
I was like, oh, he looks really Colombian. But his outfit was on point, spicy. And then I went and I said hi to him, gave him a hug, and I was like, so where are we going,
Yeah, I just didn't have no plans at all. So
Okay, good.
I thought we didn't gonna go out or anything. So I just tried to improvise a little bit. And so I said, like, why not going for a quick beer first before we go on dinner? And yeah, we get to know each other and break the ice. And yeah,
we didn't go for dinner. So
we didn't eat at all.
Carried on drinking.
Oh,
Yeah, we
so
drank our
cold.
jugs of beer. And then I don't know what it is about him, but he always gets some little perk for free. The bartender thought he was great, so he gave us like free tequila shots, which again, probably a bad idea not having anything in our
always
stomach.
a good always a good
Yeah.
idea.
Oh well. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we had 2 jugs of beer.
And
It was a lot. The
tequila.
beers are huge. Like the jugs are insane. So we were drinking a lot, and we were talking so fluent. Like the conversation, it was so nice and good that I think we were just drinking faster and faster. Like when you having a really nice time,
Yeah.
you just like you're gonna have fun. So yeah.
So what were you thinking at that point? Were you like, yeah, this is good?
Yeah, it was like it just flowed, and it was weird because you go and you date loads of people and you figure out what you like, what you don't like, what you look for in a person, in a partner, what you definitely don't look for in a partner. Because the conversation just flowed so naturally, I think we were both kind of in shock. Like every time I would go to the bathroom, I'd think like, whoa, I need to like
love that moment.
recompose myself and just, go back out there and stuff. But I was so into him that it was a bit hard.
I think it was the first half an hour of the conversation. I just look ahead and I stopped for a second. Like I was like, wow, like I knew it, right? Like you kind of like feel that like secure, like, oh, I think it's her. Like
Yeah.
Oh,
she must be the one. Like so I was trying to like, okay, so at that moment, the first half an hour, I knew that she was the person.
So what did you do after drinks?
We were gonna go dinner, right? But after a couple of drinks, we just vibing, right? So I say, well, we're not going for a dance straight up. Like, let's go for salsa.
You said you were a good dancer.
Yeah, because she lied to me. She said that she didn't know Betty well. And so I was expecting like, okay, so maybe we're gonna have to like, but she was Colombian and Costa Rican. So I thought like, maybe she has some, like some moves there hiding. And she definitely did have some moves in there, but...
So after that, we went to Salsa Soho.
Oh, yeah.
Which is like right across the street. When we got in, I was like, bought a drink straight away, got on the dance floor, and we just like had...
He's like, no.
No, this is how it was.
It was a bit dramatic, right? Like, so we arrived at the place and we got our drinks, and I look on my right and I saw the friends of my ex-girlfriend were there. So I was like, wow, like, come on. So we got our drinks. So I think I went to the toilet and come back. And as soon as I come back, I was looking for her, and my ex just coming towards me. So we look at each other, and I was like, okay. So we didn't talk for like a year before that. So it was a little bit shocking. So I was like,
That's
wow.
weird, isn't it? You haven't spoken for a year, and the girl you're on a date. Wow.
So I didn't even know what to say, right? I was like shocked. I was like, wow, this is gonna be awkward. And then say, listen, I had to tell you this, but my ex-girlfriend and her friends are right here. And it's a little bit of an awkward moment. but she didn't really care about it. Like,
We
we,
had a
what
couple
did you-
drinks.
Yeah,
she
Confidence
was
level is
like,
over
don't
here.
mind though.
But yeah, no, I noticed when he came back from the toilet that he was a bit off, right? And then he told me that. And then it was just strange because we went to go dance and have continue our date and stuff like that. But then I could see him just like still a bit like nervous and stuff. And I was like, don't worry, like we're having a great time. Who cares? So we went on one side of the club, and then she like the ex and the friends just like kept going closer to us, and it was so strange. But
Yeah, the place is huge.
the place was
Oh,
huge.
right.
They've
so
been
they were
nosy.
hunting you. Yeah.
Yes. So we were choosing like one of the sides of the club. Like it was
Going
like
round in
the empty
circles.
side, like where nobody kind of danced. We started seeing them coming as well towards us, and we were like, "Wow, this is not going great." So she did actually something that I really loved in the moment. And you know, when you're feeling this kind of awkwardness moment and stuff, she was like, she took my hand and she was like, "Okay, let's dance next to them then." And we just were dancing next, but like dancing like properly. Like we didn't care. In that moment, I felt like there was nothing else in the club. No one else was there. So it was just me and her dancing. That was a
I
really
love
good moment as
that.
well. That I
So
value
what
a lot.
happened next? Tell us
Confidence
more.
is key.
Yes.
Confidence is the key. Yeah, absolutely.
So what happened after that?
It was what, like 2 a.m.
Oh,
I think
wow.
yeah, we were dancing for a while.
So we went back to his, but he was like, I'm just going to tell you right now, I have a very small room. I just moved. I needed a place really quickly, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, don't worry, it's fine. I'm sure it's not that small. So you get into his house and he opens the door to the room. And I am telling you, I could go like this. and
Hands on
touch-
each side.
And I'm tiny, right? And he was like, yeah, I hope you don't mind, you know? And then I was like, it's fine. Don't worry. Like, it's cute. It's cozy. And then, yeah, we just...
Bless
Was it like a
you.
single bed as well?
It
Oh,
was
mate.
a
wow.
single man bed.
It was a single bunk bed with the desk underneath.
No.
The bunk bed on the top. Yeah. So I had to climb the stairs to go
get
up
into his
there.
bed.
Yeah.
Bachelor
We were
pad.
drunk, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Nice.
Yeah, you must
that
have
point.
liked him.
She really did. Though.
But in the morning, I woke up and he had gone downstairs and he came upstairs. He actually went to the bakery near his house, the Colombian bakery, and he brought me Colombian
Aw.
pastries and he brought me Colombian coffee. And I was like, this is my dream to wake up to.
Mm,
Oh.
Yeah. So
that's so
that was
cute.
really sweet.
Did you decide to spend the day together? Like, did you have that awkward, like, I'm gonna leave now? Or...
It was a bit awkward. I had that, like, should I go? Like, I texted my housemate.
Yeah.
I was like, should I
Oh,
go?
God, I
Like,
hate
is
that
it weird
feeling.
that I'm staying? I met all his housemates, which was odd, you know, like on the first day. He said to me, do you want to just come to the tattoo convention? I was like, yeah, sure.
So you had
Why
something
not?
to go to and you invited her to go?
So I had a tattoo convention. I had to attend. I was gonna be the person getting tattooed that day. I had to go really early, so I told her like, "Listen, you can come over with me, and maybe for like a couple of hours, and then you just can go back home." And then she was like, right away, "Yeah, sure, why not?"
Super
Did you
keen.
think
You're
at
like, I've
this
got no
point,
plans.
you were like both as equally keen to spend more time with each other?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but both a bit like, I don't know how to say it, but
Exactly. Yeah. I think that we were both thinking like, oh God, is this too much?
Yeah.
But then at the same time, we both wanted to.
yeah.
Mm.
But I just like kept that to myself and I was like, yeah, why not? I didn't have anything planned.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Anywho, should we take a quick break? What a love story, finally.
I know, bless them. It was so nice. I just love that they went on this like ridiculously long date and they just wanted to be around each other.
Yeah, because I know that feeling really
Yeah.
well, where you're like, do I say or don't I say? But I don't want to sound keen, but also I really just want to hang out more. And they both felt equal, which is obviously why it's lasted.
I had a terrible hangover that day, and you shouldn't be drinking before your tattoo.
I was thinking
Oh,
that,
yeah.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so I told her like, listen, I'm gonna be getting tattooed. I think it's gonna take around 8 hours here, so like you don't have to stay. But But yeah, you keep going down.
But I stayed for the whole 8 hours.
Did you?
What were you doing? Were you just like
Holding my hand.
Hungover, trying
your
not to
hand.
like throw up, basically. I didn't throw up.
Did you?
And yeah, I was originally only gonna stay for an hour because I was like, well, what the heck am I gonna do here? He's sitting on the bed getting his calf tattooed for 8 hours. But I don't know. I just I enjoyed myself. I was chatting to him while he was getting tattooed. He's a baby, by the way. He was like for a tattoo artist. And yeah, I just stayed right next to him, and I was like, yeah. So asking the random
usual questions,
first date questions again, basically, and then did 4 or 5 loops around the whole thing, and then before I knew it, the day was ended.
So this
Plus
date's become a
his.
very expensive date.
Expensive long
Drinks,
date.
dancing, yeah, tiring also. But by this point, you've lapped this thing how
Yeah.
many times, which is
Wow.
knackering.
You've had a
Plus, you've been
tattoo.
up all night. You've had a tattoo.
You've puked.
Right. So what happened next?
But I think about the end of the day, like I was surprised that she stayed the whole day. To be honest, like I didn't expect at all she was gonna stay there, and she was like talking to my colleagues as well. She was getting along very well with them as well, and I don't know, like everything was more fluent and more, and the more that we would talk, and the more that we were getting to know each other, it feels like we know each other more. Like
Yeah.
and I didn't want really leave that to go in that day because I didn't feel like we had enough time.
So there's
you
more.
wanted
Right,
more.
full 24 hours, not enough time.
Yeah.
So I actually said, do you want to go to mine and we could just watch a movie? And
You're like, I don't want to
relax?"
get in that bed again.
Yeah, the double bed as well. I said to him, do you want to come to mine? We could watch a movie. We could order a takeaway. And he was like, yeah. So we
Oh my
went
God, I feel envious right now. I feel like starved of this. This is so lovely, honestly. Carry on.
Well, I guess that's toward the end of it. And then we got back to mine. We didn't watch a movie. We just watched a bunch of random YouTube videos of
Latino music.
together.
Until 2 a.m.
Until 2 a.m. again.
Oh my goodness.
We stayed the whole night listening Latino music and talking about Latino music.
Was
And
that
our-
like
and our
the first
lives.
person like in a long time that you had met where you could do those things with and you both like
Yeah.
had that
Yeah,
connection?
100%. I never
Yeah.
did this before with nobody.
Oh, that's so nice.
It's nice to find like someone that you can relate to regularly, but then relate to on like a deeper cultural level, I think.
Yeah.
We'll speak like Spanglish to each other and things
I was
like
going to say,
that.
yeah, what language do you generally like? So on the first date, like, did you talk to each other in English or?
And the first time, like, I thought she spoke more Spanish, but as soon as we started talking, and her Spanish, it was good, but like I think English was her best option
Primary
for
language.
yeah.
Okay.
So we just talk English during the entire time.
Yeah. But now we like hop back and forth like
Yeah.
or when we want to say something secretive.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So then you've had this ridiculously long date, like 72-hour date, which I think is pretty long. It's
Basically.
going
What-
well. Like,
yeah, when did you leave?
yeah.
So next morning, I had to go back to the convention because the convention it was for 2 days, right? So I told her like, I even asked like, do you wanna come back to it? And she
8
was
hours
like,
away?
okay, no, I'm gonna take my time. And she was really funny because she said like, okay, this is probably the last time we're gonna see each other.
What?
You said that?
I said
Yeah,
like for a little bit because it was a lot.
She
Yeah.
was like, yeah, I think we saw each other too much. Maybe next week we can plan something. And she was playing hard. She was
Cool.
like, and I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, cool, absolutely, no problem. Like, just let me know whenever you want to see me then.
Oh.
It took 1 day.
Yes!
You're like, yeah, I'm cool. Actually, no. Fuck
Yeah.
this. Yeah.
That was Sunday, and then Tuesday I was back.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
And then he came to cook soup for me because I was feeling ill.
Aw.
Yeah.
He actually cooked again with the culture thing, a Colombian dish.
Oh, that's so nice though.
Yeah.
No.
And it was funny because I sent all the pictures to my parents. I was like, what this boy made me, you know? And my mom was like, oh, I'm glad someone's taking care of you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh. So then what then? Did you just continue? Did you ever have the conversation? Like,
It was like we kept seeing each other constantly every week. And gradually we started like 4 to 5 days a week. And
Wow.
literally we were seeing each other every week constantly,
Kind of
like
like your
non-stop.
3 weeks in
Yeah,
Manchester.
yeah.
It was like full on, you know?
Was it like tunnel vision? There was no, you were like, I just see you. Like you don't see anyone else?
Yeah, I think from the first day I deleted Hinge.
Did you?
Yeah.
Why
That
have you
was-
got
Yeah.
brothers?
Sarah, how long
Have
did it take
you
you to
got
delete
cousins?
Hinge? She's
Can
like,
you
he did
send
that.
them?
I was more like on the skeptical side, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna put all my eggs in one basket right now. I told them like I went on a date and stuff, but like nothing compared, you know?
Yeah.
And I think I was like trying to block it out and
Yeah, of course.
think
yeah.
like, no, like it can't be like the one, you know? Like,
Yeah.
and I just like kept pushing it away. But then I just
Gave in.
I gave in. I deleted everything and I was like, yeah, tunnel vision now.
So how long has it been now? Where are we at?
So this happened
Last May, it happened.
last May.
when
Just
we
over
met.
a year.
But we didn't like really make it official until like end of October, November.
What does that even mean? You didn't make it official?
Like boyfriend and girlfriend.
What I get confused with is this whole like, we're now exclusive, then we're now like, what is it? You see each other, then you're exclusive, and then you're boyfriend and girlfriend. That's kind of the sequence, right?
Yeah, like we had been exclusive for a while before we actually said boyfriend and girlfriend.
So you'd agreed that you're not really sleeping with other people.
Yeah, and then the official like popped out question
Right.
came,
Will
like,
you be my? So how did
Yeah.
that happen? Who said what? Just so I know so going forward.
I don't think it really went through it. Like I don't think we never really.
I guess you already were. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just that.
It was more like because I was like had a block up of actually wanting to be in like a relationship. I think I was just scared. And then that made him scared to ask. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? But then I took him. Well, we went for dinner one night, and it was like a casual, like, oh, you know, catch up. Let's like have a nice dinner just to ourselves, date night. And then I said, so do you want to just be my boyfriend? Like, just be that word. And then
Stefan, your face is like, that's not how it happened. Or is that how it happened?
So I didn't expect that at all.
Ah.
Yeah, because I mean, I mentioned it before that day. Like, eventually, I wanted to get into something seriously. So she was a little bit like, yes, no, yes, maybe not. So it was like a big surprise, right? Because she was like, all of a sudden, "Oh, let me invite you to this place, and so let's go for a dinner." And I think I was sick that day. I was a little bit high fever, I think. And so we went, and all of a sudden she was like, listen, she started crying as well.
oh my God, why did you? Oh,
Aw,
out.
did you?
She started crying.
Why? Because you were...
I just get emotional. Like it was like a lot of emotions, and I guess I was, you know, thinking of everything in the past, and
Oh.
just yeah. You didn't have to say that.
No, I think that's lovely. That just
You're in
shows how much
trouble,
you
Leia.
care.
Yeah, and all of a sudden she was like, do you want to be my boyfriend? I was like, hell yeah. I mean, I've been waiting this moment for
You two are giving me goosebumps, Pauls. Oh, this
That's
is so
so cute.
lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then so we moved in February together.
Wow. And how has that gone?
Amazing.
Do you feel like you've learnt new things about each other?
I bet.
Yeah, definitely.
Good and bad?
Yes. Yeah, it was definitely nerve-wracking at first. I don't think we talked about how nervous we each were until after like a month or so we were moved in. Just like finding each other's different habits and working around them, but like trying not to get angry with each other about it. More like,
Yeah, I
okay,
think at
how
the
can we
beginning-
fix this?
Yeah.
At the beginning, it's a little bit shocking because you start to see like this person routine and habits, and obviously the towel on the bed, and and these little things that can like. But like it was really good, like because I think even we are as every couple, we kind of like solve the problems really quick, and always trying to like get to like solve the problems as soon as it happens, and not getting there to go longer enough, or trying to understand people personality, like, and trying to understand how she is, and
Yeah.
trying to respect as well that some people have different ways to be, and maybe, you know what I'm saying, it can clash sometimes, but like as long as there's an understanding, we can always like move forward.
The key is definitely what you said, like communicating about the issues like right away and not letting them like simmer
Fester.
in. And he's really patient about everything because I can be a little bit of a brat sometimes.
Can't we all?
Yeah, we've all been there.
Yeah, but I think his patience is like key.
Oh, well, I love that story, don't you?
Do you know what? It's so nice to hear this because we've had a lot of stories on this podcast which are about things going wrong. So this is nice to hear. It's restoring faith in me. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
So
Wish you so much
openly.
luck.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening, guys.
I know you've got your phone in your hand right now, so just feel free to go on to wherever you listen to your podcast and hit that subscribe button and leave us 5 stars. From Podimo and 2020, this has been First Dates the Podcast, hosted by me, Frankie Bridge.
And me, Cece Coleman.
The producers are Blondin Hogue and Fionn Lewis.
The video producer is Rob Walsh. The executive producers for Podimo are Jake Chudnow and Matt White. The executive producer for 2020 is Martin Tricky.
Special thanks to Bruna Pias, Kendra Steeb and Fatima Patea.
For ad-free episodes, subscribe to Podimo UK on Apple Podcasts.